What's going on, guys? We're back at it, and today we're actually limited some time, so we're going to actually try to do I guess a tournament against ourselves. So what we're going to try to do today is try to get our best 5 on the scale today, and at the end of the day we'll reveal and see how well we did. So y'all come along. We're going to start off with our frog with all this vegetation right here. There's a lot of vegetation around the edges here and on that far side over here of this lake. So we're going to try to fish this frog just for a little bit to see if we can maybe get a frog bite this morning. No hits over here along this vegetation. So we're going to try over here at this point over here. See if we can get a bite. Can't get a bite on these locations. There's tons of underwater or submerged grass on this far side over here on north end. As we're going from location to location to help us figure out maybe where the fish are in the water column, keep an eye down here on your graph. And if you don't have a graph, it's okay. Throughout the day, you just want to fish different baits that go into different water columns and maybe try to figure out where they're located. Smoked it. That was a good one, guys. That was a good one. I don't know how he didn't eat it. We'll try to get it back out there. I do not know how he didn't eat that. That was a giant. Got my heart jumping. Just fishing this vegetation. A lot of the times when you're fishing vegetation, you want to upscale your line size. So if you're used to fishing like a 12 or 14, you might want to go to a 7, 2, or 20. I usually, anytime I fish vegetation, I'm fishing braided line. Anywhere from 50 to 65 pound braid. A lot of those times if you're fishing shallow vegetation, those fish will dive down in that vegetation and try to work that bait up out of their mouth, and a lot of the times they'll break you off or you'll get hung up and they'll just kind of get off. Man, that was a good one. I don't know how he missed it. I really like that. Squarebill that runs about 3 to 5 foot. One on the board, maybe. Alright, we got one. About a pound. Or a half a pound. 55. Got fish number 2. Small squarebill. $112. Alright, so we threw that out there in a little bit shallower water. He didn't even really want to fight. Saw that little blow up over there. We started casting. I thought we got a little blow up on it almost immediately when it was just sitting there. But, let's see. 130. And dark. So if he's dark like that, it makes me feel like he was in some sort of vegetation. You come up out of the water for that. That's pretty cool. Biggest one today is 165. Fish number 4. Pretty cool. Right over here. Come right about there. There's another one on. A little bit bigger too. That might be a big one today. Easy, buddy. Look how the bread is. Back-to-back cast. He's a little bit bigger. Big old head and body. Coming up for that weight bait though. 222. Alright, so we're moving on up. Alright, what are we at? 687. Oh yeah. Alright, so this might be a good little spot right here. As soon as I cranked it 2 times. There's one on there. I actually thought I had some vegetation on it. Go up here a little bit closer. Huge, but it's a good one. We're at 5 in the boat now. That's how you're supposed to eat it. Some other ones following. That's how you're supposed to eat it right there. So, 143. We're gonna replace fish number 1. That's how you eat it. All the way down. This big old crank. You want to fight it. Popping now. So we got 134. So you can take away fish number 2. Get out of here, crab baby. Alright, so we're at 793. decent one. For it's a giant. Got that thing choked too. Look at that. Easy peasy. See what he weighs. Huge mouth. $8.59. It's going to take away fish number 3. $8.59. Giant. That was it right there. Change it to a brim or a bluegill color. And within a couple casts, boom, 8.5. Ooh, baby. That's what we needed. 8.5 on a small little squarebill. Super small. So all this vegetation is out here along that bank and on that point that comes out really, really far. We just were sitting back out here in the deeper water. We just fan casting this edge, I guess you can say, because I wasn't running into any of the vegetation. So I guess we were just kind of getting right on the edge of it. And right there, we just landed a mondo. What I need to do is check my line. Right here it feels like it's sawed because this whole bait was in his mouth, and when he's fighting he's tearing, you know, abrasions in that line, so we probably need to anchor out real quick. Anchor out right here. And just retie. I didn't know how big he was because he was coming right out to us. Loosen that drag, so I'm going to have to tighten it back up. $15.23. I don't know if you can see that. $15.23. Which is okay. Got some small ones in there. So I want to show you another bait that I absolutely love to use, especially over shallow cover or even around any kind of laydowns or structure around the bank. So this is the regular squarebill that runs about 2 to 5 feet, and this is in the shad color. But the bait that I want to show you is almost the same bait, but if you look at the bill, look at the bill on this one, it kind of has a really good angle to it. But now if you look at this one, this angle is almost straight up and down. Now with the angle of this bill, it allows the bait to ride up in the water column a lot higher, like a wake bait, and it only goes from 0 to 2 feet, and depending on how you hold your rod tip, if you hold it up high, it probably will come up a little bit higher in the water column, and if you hold the bait, or I'm sorry, if you hold your rod down a little bit lower, the bait will go down just a little bit lower. So we caught some quality bass on this wake bait today as we were fishing over top of some of this vegetation and down along these banks in this coved in area where there was a little bit of structure. So not only should you be fishing a squarebill, but if you have the money or you have the budget to get you a smaller little wake bait or a smaller little squarebill that goes from 0 to 2 feet, I highly recommend it. So this is it again, right here, and this is in that shad color. And then this is the other little squarebill that goes to about 2 to 5, maybe 2 to 4, depending on how you hold your rod tip. But I highly recommend the shad color and a bluegill color. So right now we're sitting about 7.5, 8 foot of water, and the bank is literally about 15 feet away. So we're basically, oh, where's a good one? He might call up. Like I was saying, we're basically fishing this like a ledge, just fan casting. Come up in here. He may call. Let's see in a second. So we did get the call. We had a 134 and that was a 141, so we went up a couple ounces. Like I was saying, we came over here to this bank right here, and this bank has some deep water to it and the vegetation along the side. So what that can do is bass can push bait fish or come up and eat some bluegill that are up along this vegetation, and when they want, they can come back out here and either suspend or go down a little bit deeper. So they have a really good transition right here. So we're gonna continue to fan fish this real quick. And what I mean by fan fish is it literally we're sitting on the ledge right now. So if we throw up this way, we're going shallow, mid-range to deep water. So we're just hitting different parts of the water column to try to see where they are, or just try to get a bite. So that was the second bite we actually had, and we caught that one right there on that second bite. We went about mid-range, and we got a little bite or a little bump into first couple casts down this way. So.
No. But that's about fish number 11. Got that back one pretty good. Let's see. So that's 3 fish up against this bank right here. I don't think he's gonna make the cut. But it's 3 fish right up against this bank. Doing that stop and go retrieve, and I seen him literally come right up to the boat and grabbed it right before I lifted it up out of the water. Alright, so earlier I talked about the vegetation being black or dark brown, which is, if you pull that stuff in, the brown and the black, that's not going to hold a lot of oxygen for a bass or any kind of really good shade because it's dead. So this right here is a bright green. I don't know if you can see that, but it's green, which is a good location for some bass. Either, especially during the summertime when the water's super hot. When the water's super hot, it really lacks oxygen in the water. So that's why bass usually go to some sort of vegetation, submerged vegetation or some bank vegetation, because it actually produces more oxygen for them so they can survive. So, fishing vegetation or you're pulling up vegetation, you want to make sure that you're pulling up green vegetation. It's going to be a lot better for those fish. Because if it's dead, it's probably laying down on the bottom. If it's alive, it could actually be off the bottom of the floor anywhere from like 2 to 3 feet. So that gives them tons of shade and an area to kind of like hide and ambush prey. And they can do so much with fresher grass. So if you ever see green grass or you start pulling up green grass, you may be in a really good location. And if they're not biting a squarebill, you can always slow down and maybe fish a Texas rig worm. I don't know if we can fish this back here. We probably need to go back out just a little bit more. We got one right there. He on the coat. Alright, so we just upped our weight up a little bit. Damn gloves, they suck. $2.44. Let's save that. There goes maybe the fish number 2. or bluegill jump up out of the water right there. Alright. He's probably gonna go about 2 pounds. About 4 with my hand in the way. Let's see. 251. 246. Take fish number 1. That was 241. So we called up just a little bit. There he is. Alright, let's get him back in there. I seen him jumping around. They were trying to get away from some bass. I'm assuming I saw bluegill jumping up out of the water. We got one hooked up. Yep, he going cold too, guys. A little bit bigger. Oh yeah. I need a bigger one.
Drop it off.
Okay.
But I'm not coming in, even though I really want to.
Yeah.
I was like, are you on cloud 9? She's like, yep.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I talked to Miss Cook for like 30 minutes. I can't ever
4:44.
just walk away from her. I just want to keep talking.
I know. That was a 4.5 pounder.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was giving myself a time frame, which was 2:30, and I was going to leave. And I had 3 fish that I wanted to cull out because they were only about 1.5 pounds. And
Yeah.
I wound up doing it within about 12 minutes. So
Oh, my gosh.
yeah, I had 12 minutes. I got 2 minutes right now before I start heading back. So
Nice. Okay, well, I'll let you fish.
all right, love you.
All right, love you more.
All right, bye. So there you have it, guys. I showed you my approach, I showed you my setup, I showed you different types of square bills. And if you don't have any kind of square bill at home, I highly suggest you guys go out to your local tackle store and get you some immediately. This one's just a little bit bigger than this one. It dives about 2 to 5 feet. This one dives maybe like 2 to 3 feet. And then I also showed you another one that was similar to a wake bait, but it's actually designed to be a square bill. And it ran from 0 to 2 feet. And the colors that I highly recommend is a color that mimics a shad and then a color that mimics a bluegill. But there you have it, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that rally toward the end. We had 3 fish that were under 1.5 pounds and we actually culled them. So I'm gonna reveal the scale real quick. Let me grab it. All right, so let's see what we ended up with. We were trying to mimic a day that was, you know, kind of based around a tournament situation. So we ended with 20.26 pounds. So our first fish was 246. I'm just going through the scale. All right, so the fish number 1 was 246. Fish number 2 was 244. Fish number 3 was fish number 3 was 859. Fish number 4 was 457. And then fish number 5 was 222. So we had 20 pounds or 20.26 pounds today on our 5 best fish, which was awesome, especially with that 8-pound kicker. I really appreciate you guys watching today. I hope you learned a lot about a square bill and where you can fish it, and especially you can fish it during the summer dog days and catch some really good fish. So continue to watch Bassin' with Buddy, and I will see you next time.